All right, this is the last video for variables. Remember that variables are solving for an unknown. When we were littler, those were like empty boxes, but now that we're getting older, we remember that variables stand for letters. So today's lesson is going to be a review for you of all the things that we covered back when we were in school together and now that we're on digital learning. And on Friday will be our unit assessment. It will be like the CFA Google Forms that we normally get. So keep an eye out for that. If you have any questions about variables or in and out boxes or how to solve for a letter, make sure that you either email me or comment on our Google Classroom. So let's get started. Take a look at this question. It says, what equation is true for r equals 10? So now you have four choices. You need to go through and decide which one is true for r equaling 10. So here's what I kind of like to do. I like to just kind of like substitute in a different color the number 10. So 4 times 10 equals 36. No way. A is not true. So I'm going to substitute in 10. 10 plus 4 equals 21. Also not true. 10 divided by 2 equals 5. Yes. Just for fun, go through the last one to make sure you didn't miss anything. 21 minus 10 is 11, not 20. The one that makes the most sense is answer number C. Whenever you get a problem like that, make sure you substitute the variable and the amount into the equation. It's a good way to test. Now, this equation says solving for m. So I like to think, I remember that when a letter is touching a number, it's the same thing as saying times. So 5 times something equals 20. One way I could solve for this is going 20 divided by 5 equals m. It's rewriting that fact, and it's like fact family. And I know that 20 divided by 5 is equal to 4. One thing I want all fourth graders to practice is substituting that back into the problem to check. So, is m, if m was equal to times by 4, does that make sense? It does. 5 times 4 does equal m, or does equal 20. On to the next. This got a little harder. It added one more step, minus by 5. Back when we were in school together, we practiced doing things to each side of the equation to make them equal. For example, if I add 5 to this side of the equation, hold on here. If I add 5 to this side and I add 5 to this side, I now have an equation that reads 5m equals 25. Notice that I added the 5 to the 20 to make it 25, and I know that 5 plus 5, negative 5 plus 5, or 5, um, these zero each other out. And so I don't even have to list them down below. So I can say 5 times m equals 25. And in my head, I'm thinking, what times 5 equals 25? I could also divide that fact family. So 25 divided by 5 equals m. And I know my mathematicians know that then m is equal to 5. Remember, we wanted to practice putting that back in for this m up here. So if I instead put times by 5 up top, 5 times 5 is 25, minus 5 is 20. It makes the equation true, and I know I got it correct. Let's try another. F plus 6 equals 30. I know that if I minus 6 from here and minus 6 from the answer, I'll get what F is equal to. 30 minus 6 is equal to 24. Put it in the equation to see if it makes sense. So instead of saying F, say 24. I just put it in parentheses to remind fourth graders that this is a variable spot. 24 plus 6, does it equal 30? It does. We know that we were correct with that answer. Another. This is just like the one before, where we practice doing things to the equation to find it out. So, on the last problem, we actually added 5. This time we're going to subtract 6 from this side of the equation and subtract 6 from the other side of the equation. Now I know that 6 minus 6 is equal to 0. So on this side of the equation, I could say 4f plus 0, or I don't have to list it at all since I know that it won't change the equation. And then 30 minus 6 gives me 24. This is an easier equation to work with. If I know the fact family, I know that 24 divided by 4 will give me f. I know that f is equal to 6. Put it back in the equation to make sure it makes sense. So I come all the way back up here, and I'm going to type in 6. Oops, that was a G. 4 times 6 is 24, plus 6 is 30. It makes the equation correct, and therefore I know I am right. Let's skip ahead to what's my rule. This is what we've been working on all week long, and I am going to fill in some blanks really quick that I see I left out here. All right, let's get started. So, first thing I do is look at the inside and the outside, and I notice that it's going up. And if it's going up, I know I'm adding or multiplying. So what happens to 1 to turn it into a 5? Well, I either add by 4 or times by 5. Let's see what holds through throughout the whole in and out box. 5 plus 4 is 9. That does not get me to 10, but 5, oops, you see my mistake? That should be a 25. 5 times 5 does give you 25. And if I check the very last box, 10 times 5 does give me 50. I know that the rule is times by 5. Before I work ahead, I want to think about writing this as an equation. I can say in times by 5 equals my out. Or if I'm going to use math language, I'm going to say S times 5 equals R. Okay, that looks a lot better. Let's try it for 9. In this column, I'm going to put 9 in for S, so 9 times by 5 equals R. 9 times 5 is equal to 45. So I know that this R is equal to 45. Let's skip ahead and talk about looking at an input-output table and deciding which equation matches up. If you notice that first box isn't filled in, and that's a little trickier, but it doesn't matter really in the end. You can jump down to the next box and work from there. I know that 3 times 9 is 27. Now I'm going to find the next completed box all the way down at the bottom. And I know that 11 times 9 equals 99. If I'm just going to think out loud, I'm going to write myself this information. I know that the rule is times by 9. I remember from before that we said in times 9 equals out, or if I substitute these letters, K times 9 equals H. You see that equation over here? I hope you do. We're almost done. We just have to fill in the blanks. So let's substitute 2 in for K. Look down here. 2 times by 9 should equal our new H. 2 times 9 is 18. That means in this box, I'm going to put the number 18. I don't think I can type right in there, so I'm going to do this. Okay. Now we're going to carry on and go to the next box. 7 goes in, so I'm going to put that in the K spot. 7 times 9 gives me, maybe you want to do that finger trick, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 63. And again, I need to do that little text box, 63. It works a little harder when you have to go backwards. I'm going to type in the letters I know. This time I don't know K. K times 9 equals 81. I need to think what times 9 gives me 81. If you're doing the finger tricks, you can put the number 81 on your hands and you know that you fold the nines place. So I know that 9 times 9 is equal to 81. So I can fill that box. And now I've completed my in and out table. Fourth grade, none of this is easy. I hope that you did some more practice. Some things I want you to think about are variables, in and out boxes. Remember, tomorrow is our CFA on variables. I can't wait to see how you do. Good luck.